It had been 10 years since Mia left Chicago, but the memories still clung to the corners of the old apartment like forgotten cobwebs. Now standing in her childhood bedroom, she ran her fingers over the dusty bookshelf. Every item held a memory: books she loved, an old photograph of her and Evan, and a box she hadn't opened since she was 21. She opened the lid. There it was. The letter. Still sealed. Still unread. It was addressed to Evan Michaels. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. The paper had yellowed slightly at the edges, and her handwriting, so full of emotion, so desperate, seemed to mock her now. Evan and Mia were inseparable in college. They had met during a class project and argued for 3 days straight over how to design their presentation. But by the time they presented it, they were already falling for each other. Evan was spontaneous, passionate, a dreamer. Mia was grounded, practical, a planner. Their love worked because it was imperfect, full of passionate debates and midnight drives, kisses under city lights, and whispered promises. Until it didn't. In their final year, Evan got an offer in Los Angeles to work on a major film set. Mia was accepted into a grad program in Boston. They promised to make it work, but time, distance, and ambition eroded what they had. One night, after weeks of missed calls and unanswered texts, Mia sat down and poured her heart into a letter. She told him she still loved him. That she wanted to try again. That she was willing to move to LA. But she never sent it. She convinced herself that he had moved on. That it was better to let go. Her mother had passed away last week, and Mia had returned to Chicago for the funeral. Now, with the house up for sale, she was going through her things one last time. The letter felt heavier now than it ever had before. She Googled Evan's name. His face came up instantly, same warm smile, same hazel eyes. He was now a well-known cinematographer, living in Seattle. Without thinking, Mia booked a flight. She stood outside the studio, heart pounding, clutching the letter. She didn't know what she was expecting: closure, perhaps. Or maybe just a glimpse of the life that could have been. "Can I help you?" a voice asked behind her. She turned, and there he was. Evan. Older. Wiser. But unmistakably him. "Mia?" She managed a small smile. "Hey." He looked stunned. "Wow. It's been a while." 10 years, she nodded. He gestured for her to sit on a bench nearby. "What brings you here?" Mia hesitated, then held out the letter. "This. I wrote it years ago. I never sent it." He took it gently, looking confused. She continued, "After you left for LA and I went to Boston. I thought you had moved on. So I never gave you a chance to tell me if you hadn't." Evan looked at the envelope, then back at her. "Can I read it? Please." He opened the letter, slowly. She watched as his eyes scanned her words. Tears welled up in his eyes. "You wanted to come to LA?" he whispered. "I did. I was just scared. I didn't think I was enough for your dreams." He laughed softly, sadly. "Mia, I waited for months. I sent emails, texts. I even came to Boston once. You never replied." She covered her mouth in shock. "You came to Boston?" He nodded. "But your roommate said you were visiting your parents that weekend." Her voice broke. "I didn't know. I thought it was over." Evan folded the letter and held it tightly. I would have chosen you over everything. I still would. Mia looked away. But it's too late now, isn't it? He hesitated. I don't know. I'm not married. Are you? She shook her head. He smiled slightly. Maybe fate gave us a second shot. Mia sat on a park bench in Seattle, sipping coffee. Evan sat beside her, his camera slung around his neck. They weren't rushing into anything. They were talking about everything they didn't say back then, about their fears, about the letter. Sometimes, love doesn't die. It just waits. For the courage to be seen again.